Hello, everybody. In the previous episode, I said that this episode would definitely have Derek, and it does. But it's sort of out of our normal format. Derek and I sort of got on a roll, and so it's more like one big thing than the cut-up system that we usually have. It's also a lot more gaming talk than funny stuff, but I hope you guys will still enjoy it. So, without further ado, here we go. Ben and Derek, back again.
Thought we was bros.
We are.
How come you don't ever text me ever? Hey, it's Derek, text me.
You're so needy.
I just need Ben.
Well, here I am.
I
Live and direct.
I know.
From somewhere in a secret base in Southern California.
Oh, I know who you are. I'm looking at you right now.
What's your favorite scary movie, Derek?
Oh man, let me think about that. Oh man, the lightning round. Did you see Scream 4? I heard it was so ridiculous it was actually pretty good.
I mean, wasn't that kind of the whole series? I mean, like, the first one, I guess, was... No, it was sort of silly, too. I mean...
But it was... The first one was still silly. As best as I can remember. I haven't watched them in a while, but I recall the first one being... It really rode that line of silly and genuinely, like, smart. And then the other two and 3 kind of got more and more silly.
Yeah.
I remember watching part 3 with an old girlfriend of mine, just thinking, this has gone far enough, Wes Craven.
I remember seeing the first one. I don't have any recollection of the second and third, even though I know for a fact I've seen them, and I did not see the fourth one.
Yeah, I don't remember the second one at all. I only remember the third one because it had Jay and Silent Bob cameo, which was weird.
I feel like I could watch all of them again.
Yeah, no.
And still have no idea, like, what happened.
I don't really remember them. I remember I saw Scream 1. I rented it on VHS.
Like, I know Drew Barrymore is going to die in, like, the first couple seconds on the first one.
I have seen the beginning, like, on YouTube. Just, like, the opening sequence. And that opening sequence of Scream is actually really scary, really good.
Yeah, it's good.
So, I don't know.
That's why it's the only part I remember.
But I heard that you don't really need to have seen the previous Scream movies, because the thing is, it's all the movies are kind of meta, and this one just kind of takes the meta to such a strange level. I don't know, it's because a weird meta experiment. I might check it out.
I thought it was like a retake on the original movie, though, so I feel like you need to at least have seen the first one.
It is and it isn't, I understand, because it's like the characters, where have they been? It's like...
Yeah, but I mean, like, I think it's like, oh, is it the same killer, or so on, and blah, or something. Yeah. How does it work?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I've heard a couple of good things. If it appears... Here's how my life has become with technology.
If it's on Netflix?
If it's on Netflix, an hour and a half to kill,
Exactly the same. I'm like, how many calories do I have to burn on this?
No, it can be good incentive. Be like, I have an hour and a half to kill, and you watch this movie, and it's terrible. And it actually can inspire. I got shit to do. I can't watch this bullshit. I'm turning this movie off and getting back to work. So watching a movie on Netflix can endeavor to be like an hour and a half, 2 hour, fun time experiment. Let's see how this movie turns out. And then you get like 45 minutes, half hour in, and you're like, this is awful. I need to get back to work.
And you become accidentally productive.
Yeah, it's a good motivator. Actually, are you recording this for the... Is this being recorded for random show stuff right now?
Yeah, just record all the stuff that we say, whatever.
Man, gotta be careful what I say now.
No, you don't. I don't have to put it in.
You gonna blackmail me one of these days, Ben?
The thing about Gargoyle's Quest, the whole series that I really like, is that it sort of has its own unique platforming mechanic, which few games do. I mean, like, Bionic Commando has it.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, most games stick to the Mario Brothers or, maybe Sonic the Hedgehog, especially in that era. Like, Bubsy was clearly a Sonic the Hedgehog ripoff.
Hmm.
and stuff like that.
Or they
But
try and do a running and gunning thing like Contra.
right, but that's sort of a platformer. But I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like games that were specifically platformers, like with a mascot, which I guess you could consider Gargoyle's Quest.
Oh, totally.
They all functioned essentially exactly the same, but that game was like totally different, but still super interesting and probably like way better for it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
It's not Mickey's Magical Quest or any of that. Those games are fun, but it's clearly taking the Rescue Rangers
Hmm.
formula.
You have like DuckTales and Mega Man, which are just taking NES games and shrinking them down and cramming them onto a Game Boy. Same with like
Right, Darkwing Duck as well is on the Game
exactly.
Boy as a smashed version of the NES game, which is
Yeah.
really just a clone of Mega Man to begin
Which
with.
came first? A really good clone of Mega. Actually, I'd say Darkwing Duck for the NES is better than Mega Man's 4, 5, and 6.
Mm, it's definitely easier.
Really?
I think Mega Man, God, what is it? 5 is really hard.
I found Darkwing Duck to be like hard, but for bad reasons. Like I discussed in the video, like I discussed that the controls are super kind of stiff and are not very polished.
Yeah, I think Mega Man is more gosh, I don't what's the word? It's better put together, but Darkwing Duck just sort of let you get hit more and stuff like that. It seems like to me. I don't know. It's been a while since I played it.
Mm-mm. Because Darkwing Duck, you only have 4 hits for the whole game
Mm,
instead of a bar. Where some hits take less than others.
right.
You have
Certain
4 hit
enemies.
points in Darkwing Duck.
But you can replenish them, no?
Oh, you can, but it's still you get items as often as you would like in Mega Man games, but still only 4. That can go really fast. You can be hit 4 times in a very brief exchange with like 2 or 3 enemies in one hallway.
Yeah. Okay, well, clearly I don't have the best memory of Darkwing Duck then.
Yeah, since I did the review a couple years ago, it's become one of my favorite games. I've played it pretty often, but because I play it so often and I'm really good at those games. I grew up playing Mega Man. I don't think Darkwing Duck is difficult for me, but I still consider it to be a hard game. There was this guy, he was one of the people on RetroWare who posts a lot. I forget his name, but I wanted to call him out and it's total bullshit because I think it was before we changed the site. He had a thread going. Mega Man 1 is super easy. I can beat it without continuing. Therefore, an easy game.
It is not easy.
It is not. No, I can beat it without continuing too, buddy. And it's a fucking hard game.
Just because you've played it a lot doesn't mean it's easy.
No, it is still a really hard game.
Just the yellow dude at the end, you have to get, and the first time that you ever play it, the beginning of Gutsman stage, you've got to learn the timing of all those things,
Yeah.
the falling platforms, and you fall. There's no like, okay, I've got a second to jump. No, it's like, bam, you're gone. You're not even on the screen anymore.
Yeah, it's really weird how fast you fall.
I mean, I guess in one way it's way more realistic than the later ones where a robot sort of glides through the air made of metal.
Oh, come on.
You know, in the older one, he fell
I
like
know what you mean, but like
a robo. Oh, I'm sure that's the most unrealistic thing about Mega Man is that he's a little bit less weighty. Yeah, I know.
He is. Maybe he's super light. Like,
later they upgraded him.
yeah, you never know.
They got some titanium Miraztaz and put it on there.
I just shot the video for Sum of All Fears, and oh, that game was horrible. That game definitely got the grade for really really bad. Like by the time I finished the video, I actually had a headache and I was super grumpy and mad. So I'm interested to see what the reaction will be because I'm like, fucking A, this game is fucking horrible. Fuck everything. Go away.
I'm trying to think. I think I have like a really terrible game. I have the Bourne game for the 360. That game is not fun. I don't know how it got rated, but I just do not like it at all. It is not fun. I seem to remember like there was a whole like Game Trailers TV shows you how the Bourne game is made and everything, and they talked about how they've got like so and so is working on the script and all this, but it doesn't matter because it's not fun. I don't like it.
Yeah, Sum of All Fears has all this background information, all this. Before a mission starts, it has this guy who talks your head off about some crap and throws in all this minutia about I don't care. And you can, tab over to this other thing and look at profiles and read newspaper clippings and stuff. And it's this big, immersive Tom Clancy universe. But the game is just garbage. It's such a waste of potential.
Well, let's be serious. Like, half of all Tom Clancy games are not good.
No. But this one is particularly terrible.
I'm just saying, like, people are like, oh my god, it says Tom Clancy on the box, I gotta buy it. But they're forgetting about, like, Hawks or fuck, even, like, the older Splinter Cells are really hard to play now, even if they are decent. I know they're remaking them in HD, but I hear that's sort of a out the door kind of, they just sort of up-res the textures, that's it, nothing great.
Yeah, they've been getting lazy about it.
In fact, I heard it doesn't even have inverted aim, even though the original game did. So
I saw the I didn't watch it. Calvin watched the Giant Bomb quick look. I'm not sure. Giant Bomb is an amazing site, and their quick looks are like better than reading reviews. It's just like them playing the game. Apparently, they had to. The game crashed 4 times trying to load the third Splinter Cell game.
Right. Chaos Theory?
Yeah, I think so. Pandora Tomorrow was the
second.
Yeah, I think I have it. Where is it?
I have all 3 of them on the PlayStation 2, but that's not really the ideal version of any of them.
Well, the thing I drove home about Sum of All Fears is it came out in 2002, and that was when Splinter Cell 1 was out and Rainbow Six and the first Ghost Recon. And up to that point, like, Tom Clancy was like pretty good to exceptional. And then all of a sudden this one shat out and it was just fucking horrible. And it is kind of like a Let's Play, and there's a huge audience for that.
I'm not saying that all the games are bad, and in fact, like, the most recent Splinter Cell, I really liked that game. I hope that they do make more like that, because that game is super fun.
Yeah, it wasn't the one that came before that, though, was just, that one got stuck in limbo, and it was crap.
No, the one that got stuck in limbo, but then did eventually come out, I thought was really fun. Conviction?
Uh-huh.
It had good co-op, which is, like, one of the main things I always wanted Splinter Cell to do well was, I want to be over here disarming this thing while the other guy grabs the person off the top of the railing or whatever. And I thought it was super fun, especially since it had a completely separate co-op campaign, sort of like Portal does, or something like that, where it's not part of the main game. You can just do your own thing.
Oh, fucking A, Portal. How long has it been since we talked? Have we both gushed about Portal yet to each other?
Portal 2, I started playing it yesterday, so
oh man,
I can't get too, or day before. I can't get too gushy. I'm up to where you get to the blue liquid that's bouncy. And in the co-op, I don't know, I played it with Aaron or Rask, whatever. Gosh, I don't know, for like 2 hours or something the other day, so I'm fairly...
I haven't played the co-op at all, but I've heard that's where the real puzzles are. Like, I guess Calvin and I played the single player. We beat it in one sitting. We were up to like 3 a.m.
I remember seeing that a long time ago on your Twitter or Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, probably Twitter. And that was Calvin called in sick the next day, and I didn't get shit done the next day. But oh man, that was one of those those experiences where you just sit down and you fucking beat a game. That was one of those great experiences. And I enjoyed all the way through. And I hear like the puzzles for co-op are like way better. I guess one of the beefs that game is getting is all the puzzles are kind of lame. They're all really good, and they saved all the good ones for the co-op. And
I don't know. I do think that the co-op ones are more difficult, but you get more portals. You know what I mean? Like each person has 2 portals.
Oh, there's also gimmicks that aren't even in the original game. I guess I won't spoil that for you, but there's a couple of things in the co-op that I've seen that did not appear in the single player game. But there were still a couple of puzzles that Calvin and I were scratching our heads for a really long time.
Yeah, I think it's still just as good as the original, but with more atmosphere, better story. Well, maybe not better story, but
I don't know, better story.
Same level. I mean, of humor, interest. I still wanted to keep going the whole time. All the voice acting was good. I mean, the little, eyeball and all that follows you around. He is super funny in the beginning, and he keeps you interested when you're just going through more test chambers, and it's really not. The gameplay is not that different from the old
Yeah.
game.
Oh, have you played Borderlands?
I beat it and all the DLC like
Oh yeah, dude, I just
two
picked up
years ago.
Borderlands. I picked up Borderlands a week ago. I've already put 20 hours into it.
I fucking love that game.
Oh
I
my
cannot
God.
wait until Borderlands 2 comes out.
No, actually, I when I bought it, I went over to Calvin's house and played it, and like I played a little bit, and I was like, holy shit! All right, Calvin, I'm gonna work on music. You're gonna play Borderlands, and then he played it for a little bit, and he was like, wow, I need to get this game too. And I guess it's actually it was a hard game for me to track down. I didn't want to get the Game of the Year edition because that was still like $40. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna get the normal edition, see if I like it, because I still don't know if I'm gonna get the add-ons. I think I will just to get the level cap increase. Other than that, I probably won't get any more of them. I'm probably good. But I played Borderlands so much this week, and Calvin hasn't been able to find a copy. I'm like, dude, borrow my copy because I'm not getting shit done.
You guys should play split screen. It's so much better with another person.
I've done Xbox Live with a friend a couple times.
Yeah, that's good too. I mean, but I'm just saying when you guys are sitting right next to each other and you're like, driving in the car and stuff together, it's way fun.
Yeah, the problem is,
And you guys are retarded. You know what I mean? Like you would have fun.
oh yeah, I mean, but can we both have each other's characters
You
on a
can't.
split screen?
Yes, you
But I mean,
can't.
I would have to bring like my profile in on a memory stick or something, right?
You can import it through the internet.
So I would have to have my Xbox on at home or something.
No, no, you just go to recover your gamer tag. It asks you like your email address and password, and then it'll download your thing to Calvin's console. Then you can both play. Then when you get home, you just do the same thing at your house, and it'll transfer it back
I got transferred each time.
each time that you want to play. Yes, or if you take it on a memory unit, then you don't have to do the transfer thing.
All right, that's still kind of a hassle, but it would work. Cool.
But it's fun. I mean,
Well, what I'm doing is like, I have October's always a busy ass month for me, and I always love getting something about like October is a tradition for me. I look forward to it every year. It's like, oh, cool, I'm gonna kill myself making videos again this year. I've always been in a mad rush to finish videos in October. It just feels like as a tradition for me. So like I'm just like Calvin, you can have my copy because I can't be trusted with this. I have a Borderlands problem. So
I can't. I need a Borderlands patch.
oh god, but I've been. It was so bad last night. I fell asleep on the couch watching a speed run of Borderlands.
Yeah, I love that game. It was so good.
Oh,
Uh,
not no. Here's the thing. It is not so good. It is. It has huge problems, which is why I'm so looking forward to the sequel because there's just a laundry list of things they need to fix for that game.
there's a couple of little things that I don't like about it, but I mean the sort of core mechanic, which is also why I want to play Rage, but I haven't gotten a chance yet, is first person shooter RPG, not the other way around like Fallout, where it's more RPG, less first person shooter.
Yeah, that was kind of like the toss up for me because I'm still playing catch up with Xbox games. Like I hear Fallout's great, but then I looked at Borderland, and Borderland didn't get as well rated for obvious reasons because it does have glaring flaws. But it really feels like Borderlands is the better game for me.
I think they're both really good. I just like Fallout eventually seems first of all it's single player only, so it seems sort of monotonous, and everywhere is very like I don't know, dreary. And
Yeah,
Borderlands has a bit more color, and it's a bit stupider. It has like sort of dumb, even scatological like humor and stuff.
it's
Uh,
got Claptrap, who is awesome. I love Claptrap.
the other guy is really funny too, the Catch a Ride guy.
Catch a ride, Scooter.
Yeah, where he's like, "We gonna go down to the Skag Caves. That's your mama's hoo ha or something." And he says,
Oh god, it took me so long to find Scooter because like Claptrap is always like, "Hey, Scooter says he has more missions for you. You should go talk to him." I'm like, "Where the fuck is he?" And I looked online, and they're like, "He's right there next to where he's in New Haven, next to where you get your vehicle." I'm like, "Where? In the building? You can't go in this building. What the fuck?" He's like not in a building. He's just under he's like under a roof, like a tent, and he's sitting down in front of a table, like next to a car, and he's right there. I just missed him.
Yeah, but I think it's a really good game, and I think especially all the stuff that they've shown about Borderlands 2 pretty much addresses all the stuff I didn't like about the first game, so I feel like it's going to be a really good between that and Torchlight, Torchlight 2 looks super good. So I'm really excited about both of those, and of course
Well,
Diablo.
I'm excited for Gearbox because I heard Duke Nukem was garbage. Just no one expected it to be quite that bad, but it was just we all knew it was probably going to be bad.
I don't know. I hear like people like it, but reviewers hated it.
I don't know. I've read enough stuff and seen enough playthroughs. Like it really does look fucking terrible.
I kind of expected that.
No, I did too, but it looks worse than what I think I and a lot of people were expecting.
I think for a game that was meant to be canceled, you have to expect us. I was surprised that they were putting it out, and they did it at a budget price. I think to start.
No, I think it was $50.
I think it was 30. I'm not sure.
It's 30 now. It dropped in price really fast.
But yeah, I didn't anticipate it being amazing, but I still think I'd like to play it when it gets, to 15 or 10 or whatever. I'd drop some.
No, Netflix is turning to Quickster, and that's going to have games.
That's true.
I mean, that's a perfect rental. That's a perfect rental. But the point I was trying to make originally was that I'm glad for Duke Nukem, so Gearbox got that Duke Nukem money. They can throw it all at Borderlands 2.
Borderlands made a ton of money itself, actually.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, they kept on making DLCs for a whole year. It almost became a joke.
It was good though. I mean, like I wish more games would do that if they were going to make DLC like that, where it wasn't just we added some missions in the same areas. No, they made all new areas, all new everything, and all new story that was funny. I really enjoyed the DLC for that game. I wish more games would do that's what DLC ought to be, know.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed that stuff. More quests, more places to go, more things to shoot. I mean,
but I know the sequel's coming around the corner. I know the sequel is going to be.
I think it's at least a year off, though.
I don't know. I've got other games to play. I might eat these words, but I don't see myself playing. I might get one again. I might get one of the DLCs just so I can have the level cap risen a little. But I don't know that it's really gonna be worth my time. It's like playing Uncharted 1 when you know that Uncharted 2 is coming out. Like Uncharted 1's a pretty good game, but it has huge problems. And then
the aiming is a bit slow and things, but it's still a fun game, and it gives you this story before the second game.
Yeah, it's fun, but I mean,
I agree. The second is vastly superior, not just in graphics, but in control, especially the shooting mechanics.
Just tighter. Everything is just tighter in that game. It's all of it. Like
the way that the levels are constructed is better. It's less hallways and more interesting geometry, and stuff like that.
The firing just feels tighter. The guns just feel more responsive and easier to aim, and the enemies, the firefights a little more interesting, and everything about Part 2 just they really, really knew they had that laundry list of tiny problems and addressed every single one of them. And I think Borderlands 2 is going to be like that. Because I played Borderlands 1, and like I said, in 6 days, I put 20 hours into it.
I got all the achievements except one, I think, on all of the DLC and everything on the 360. Mm-hmm. And then I bought it on Steam for like $10 with all the DLC again, and I've been meaning to play through it with Aaron.
Yeah, I bought it used for $15. I have a couple Xbox Live points. I might buy one or two. Actually, Doom 2 just went on sale for 400 points. I need to pick that.
They don't sell the original Doom anymore, do they?
No, they don't. Which is fucking lame because I needed to get 2 more achievements for it.
You can still get it if you already had it, but...
Well, Calvin still has it, but the other 2 achievements were like, get 50 kills in multiplayer, get 100 kills in multiplayer.
Right.
And no one ever played multiplayer.
Well, and they never will now that they can't buy it,
Yeah.
It can only get smaller and smaller.
The Doom 1 Xbox Live port is just like perfect. So good.
I agree. I thought it was excellent. It played well. It controlled good. It was super smooth. They didn't do any of the things that they did in the other older ports where they cut the animations or any of that.
Nope.
The audio was good.
You know what port though really was not worth the money.
Super Nintendo.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Xbox Live version of Wolfenstein.
Oh, I didn't play that.
It was 400 points, and man, it's barely worth that. The sound, the music, for some reason, plays like half speed, so it just sounds really weird. Uh, Turning your guy is like super slow unless you're running.
Is it based on a different, like a certain version, or they just redid it from the
I
ground up?
think what it was is it was meant to coincide with the new Wolfenstein game. It was just Wolfenstein.
Right, that wasn't.
And for whatever reason, I guess they shat it out quickly and didn't have time to like tweak things. Like when you open secret doors, the game like locks up for 2 seconds and loads or something.
Nice.
It's got all these really weird issues that just shouldn't be there.
Well, especially for a game of that vintage. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah, because it's still a classic game, and it's got these tiny little problems. And
Right, but graphically, if the same console can run Crisis 2, it should be able to handle Wolfenstein no load times.
yeah, it's clearly not like, oh, the Xbox can't handle. No, that's absurd. It was the team shat it out quickly and did not do a quality polish on it. So no, I don't recommend. I don't recommend that to the listeners. Hey, listen.
Cannot recommend.
Even though I did play through it again though, because it's one of my favorite. Actually, one of the few PC games that I owned way back when. I actually had a full copy of Wolfenstein 3D before Doom came out.
Those people need to play it on the 3DO anyways.
You know what you do? You hunt down Return to Castle Wolfenstein for Xbox. You turn on invincibility mode and just beat that game really quick because it's only a so-so shooter nowadays. And then you unlock Wolfenstein 3D after beating it, and that version is like flawless.
Oh, really? They have a good port of the PC or the Mac version?
I don't know, but it was just it feels as tight as like Doom does for Xbox 360.
Wolfenstein is definitely a game that, when it got ported to all the different systems, it got fucked up like 20 different ways.
Yeah, kind of like with Doom. Like the best version of Doom was like the PlayStation 1 version, and even that was like missing some of the music and had all these kind of weird lighting effects that didn't need to be there, and some of the animation wasn't there, and it's really strange.
And a lot of them are missing some of the enemies, and the Jag version has no sound at all, no audio.
Yeah, and some of the levels are super truncated, like completely chopped up and way smaller.
The 3D version, the 3DO version is up-resed, but I think it's missing one of the campaigns. But I think in Wolfenstein,
Well,
the 3DO version has a flamethrower.
yeah, no, doesn't it have all this extra shit too?
Yeah, it's up-resed. It has a flamethrower. But I think it has no blood.
I could see that.
I can't remember. It's one of them. It's missing one of the, like, you know. And also, I think they don't say the things in German in the 3DO version. They say like, oh. They don't yell like "mein Leben" or whatever, you know.
They might, yeah, I could see that.
Some sort of censorship, strangely, on the 3DO version, I think.
Yeah, the Super Nintendo ports of Wolf and Doom are interesting.
The Doom one is so, like, smeary. It looks, like, nasty.
But the thing is, I want to say it looked better than the 32X version. I know it had
definitely had better sound.
Oh, yeah, unquestionably.
I actually like the Super Nintendo soundtrack a lot for Doom.
Mm-hmm. No, I really like 1UP. Every single time I go to Kotaku or Destructoid, I invariably read something like a dumb news post that makes me mad,
Holy
or
fuck.
some editorial that's written by like some 19-year-old 4chan.
Yeah, I read yesterday there was like a whole article about how Skyward Sword is an RPG, and I was like, he's like, Zelda's finally an RPG again. I'm like, okay, I'll read this. It was like 3 fucking pages, and it was all like, I played 15 minutes of the game, and this is what I think could happen. I'm like, that is misleading at best, and at
Dude,
worst, it's all
I played that game at PAX. I was not fucking impressed at all.
I need to play it when I can just sit down and play it for like a long time, but I don't even have a Wii anymore, so I'm like, you know.
Yeah. And
I'm not sure it's worth
Well,
it to me. If I find one at like a pawn shop or something, I just feel like playing.
I still think owning a Wii is worth it. I still think owning a Wii is worth it.
I just don't feel like
I mean,
rebuying
granted, I didn't pay for my Wii.
the catalog. I had all the games I wanted, and now they're gone, and I don't feel like redoing it.
Man, Metroid Prime trilogy, bro, duder, buddy.
Yeah, but how you gonna get it?
Telling, dude, that shit's like I saw it at a GameStop used $80.
It's like it's back in the day when Marvel vs. Capcom used to be the hot shit. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for like the Xbox was like $90 used.
Yeah, the PS2 version, I've seen it for like 70. It's gone down in price now, and it's a shit version too.
The PlayStation 2 and the Xbox one's better than the PlayStation 2 one, I think. They're all right, but the Dreamcast one's obviously better.
Exactly, yeah, Dreamcast. And then now you can just get it Xbox, so.
Which is why they based the more recent one off of the Dreamcast version.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it's got its own weird little problems.
Mm.
But it's still good. I mean, it's fun. Whatever.
Well, yeah, they didn't. I heard, like, with that one and, like, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, they left in all, like, the kind of sort of broken shit that, like, super expert players know to exploit, Chun-Li's fierce kick because it kicks like 3 pixels longer than it should, or little like
they kept it the same.
I guess because it's like legitimate strategy now. Like if you're a pro, you have to know how to cheat the game because everyone's going to do it.
Right, but the thing for me is, no matter how much they change it, like it's almost imperceivable to me because I'm not that hardcore.
Oh no!
Like I can see the differences between Street Fighter 4 and Super Street Fighter 4 in the specific characters that I play, but I'm not like, I can see the little differences in the old school Street Fighter 2s and stuff like that, but I don't know he just lost 2 frames. Fei Long's totally faster now or whatever. I'm like, it would be exactly the same to me.
I'll tell you though, I'm no good at those fighting games. I love watching them online.
I'm actually like decent, and I'm better at the 3D ones. I really like Soul Calibur. I'm looking forward to Soul Calibur 5.
Yeah, I have some hardcore Soul Calibur friends, and they said that Soul Calibur 4 was just bad.
I just didn't like the Jedis that they added. The other people are all fine and pretty well balanced, but the apprentice from The Force Unleashed is super unbalanced, especially when the computer plays with him. He cheats. He has like a magic bar, and he can hit you from across the screen, and all this stuff, and he can hold you in the air. He has like force choking and lightning, and he can throw the saber and make it come back to him. It's like, you can't foresee that coming. Especially if you're like limited range, like Taki or someone who just has like daggers. That shit sucks.
Well, they had a decent balance with, Soul Calibur 2 and Link. He could shoot arrows, which kind of gave him an advantage, but his arrows weren't super strong, and you can see them coming because he had to pull it back.
Right, and he had the bombs, I think, but he had to do them he had to like make it come out then throw it, sort of like in Smash Brothers.
There was an animation of him actually doing it.
So it had a little heads up, but no, the apprentice is super fast, long range. He's got skills that you can't block. He's not fun.
Oh. I also heard the character customization is like fucking broken. Like you can only choose like the clothes you choose lock you to a specific character. So all you end up getting is like 4 or 5 different looking Mitsudugis or 4 or 5 different looking like Astaroths or something like that, or I don't know the characters.
Yeah, you can be any of you can customize any of the existing characters or make your own based on, some of the more generic ones they have in there. But I think 3 had better customization. But 3 was sort of, I don't know, I didn't love it. I think the best one is 2 still. But graphically, 4 is a lot better. And if you just agree with your friends, like, don't play as Yoda, don't play as Darth Vader, don't play as the Apprentice, it's pretty fun.
Well, that's like, GoldenEye. All right, no odd job. If you want to be Jaws, I suppose you can, but no odd job.
Right.
Everyone has to agree, no odd job.
You need to make house rules in order for it to be fun.
Yeah.
I wish that random select could exclude certain people because then it would be great. I'd be like random select, no Jedis.
Well, I mean, how many Tekken games have they made since Soul Calibur 4? Because I think the last Tekken 5 and 6 were both super, super good, right?
5 was on the PlayStation 2? And I did not like it. 6 was on the 360 and it was pretty good.
Yeah, 6 came out, what, 09?
It's got to be like 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, and I have not played them. I've not I gave up on Tekken back in Tekken 3.
It was really the best place to give up.
I heard Tekken 4 was bad. I heard Tekken 5 was like good. They fixed all the problems of 4. This is a return to form.
Well, before that, it was what? Tag, then 4, then 5?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really good. I'm not really good at fighting games.
I like them,
some...
but I just don't. I can never get into Tekken, except for 3 was really fun to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that, whichever the next one is, we'll get more into the... I liked Tekken because it was sort of goofy and strange, and they've tried to make it like way more serious. And they even tried to make that side game, which, by the way, you should do one of those. Is it really that bad about that game? Because I hear it is really that bad.
Which one was that?
It's the one that stars the blonde-haired police officer from Tekken, but she has her own, like... It's almost like the... remember when Mortal Kombat had the Jax game that was just about Jax?
Yeah.
They made it a game that's just about her, and she's, like, on a cruise ship beating up robots that bleed and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's an excellent game for that sort of thing to see... Is it really as bad as people say? Because I have a feeling it probably is.
Right now, I have on the docket Resident Evil Survivor, Drake of the
Survivor is the...
That was the light gun game.
The light gun?
One that didn't have a light gun.
Oh, right. Because the second one does support the light gun, right?
Yes, and I played it a little bit, and it's just boring because if it had the light gun, it might be passable, but I think I might give it it's really not that bad. It's just boring as shit.
Yeah, but I mean, aren't games supposed to be entertaining? I mean, isn't that really their
no,
main...
here's the difference between, because the point of the show is like, is it just bad or is it awful?
I guess what you're really asking is it broken?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but is it really that bad is a much better title.
I know, but what you're saying is, yeah, I don't really enjoy it, but it's not broken. It's just not fun.
Yeah, like Charlie's Angels is not horrible, but it is bad. It's boring. It's really easy, but I think actually it's got some. I thought the game was fun. It was funny. It had some stupid, funny moments. Like
I thought it was funny too. I was watching you play it and I was laughing, dude. I was like, man, I so want to be on this show because that would be fucking hilarious.
The bicycle kick was
hilarious. She's just like in the air.
Woo! Yeah, like dancing. Like, talk about a gift from the gaming gods. Like, oh god, this is gold. And
it was like the Statue of Liberty did something or whatever. I can't even
disappeared.
Yeah,
the Monument Pirates. Like, what the fuck is that?
I so want to be on that show. That shit looks funny.
Actually, I'm probably going to be having Calvin do a show with me.
Yeah.
I'm really not. That's one thing I'm not as good by myself, though. Like, when I'm playing the game, I can't quite talk about the game and play it. Just my brain, I'm not quite good enough at that. My brain can't handle all that, I suppose.
Too much input for Johnny 5.
Yeah, I can't do it. But did you see the Chrono Trigger April Fool's joke I did with Calvin?
Yeah, with Hanko or whatever.
Oh god, that was... Calvin's a fucking genius. Just, god, all I did was like tell him where to go and what to do, and the rest was just him, just improv, no rehearsal, just go.
I'm just saying, if there's some way you can get me on that thing, dude, I'll do the shit out of that.
Come visit. When's semester done?
God damn, that is a long ways to go, but I would like to. That would be awesome.
Yeah. I guess I'll have to come and visit you then. That's right, because you don't like to travel on planes.
I'm on the verge of making
a big vagina.
Hey,
with penises inside of you.
All of how many?
All of them, every penis.
A bag of dicks?
A whole bag of dicks. like Louis C.K. did.
Right. All right, well, that's it. Hopefully you guys liked it. Despite the format change for this episode, it was good to have Derek back, and in order to keep the show classy, as always, I'm going to end with a little piece that we recorded about how fast Derek poops. So, thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.
All right. Hold on, Ben. Get the stopwatch, because Derek needs to run to the men's room.
All right.
Okay, it's happening. Here we go.
Click.
We're right back.
Lightning poo in action. Alright, everybody, listen up. This is the sound of Derek taking a shit. This is going to be in real time. I'll continue talking so that you know I never cut here. He will be back in, like, seriously, 20 seconds. He's amazing like that. I think he must eat a lot of fiber. Alright, let's see. I need some music or something. Maybe I'll put that in right here. Wow, that's the stuff. And sounds like he's coming back. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I will clock that later, but that was easily under 2 minutes.
Ah, man.
Easily.
Ah, feeling good.